Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, is the next major release coming to us from Grinding Gear Games, and it releases on April 4th. With it comes a ton of new content, new systems. We're talking new Ascendancies, new classes, skills, new uniques, even major changes to how we farm and craft these items. If you've been waiting to see what Path of Exile 2 is all about, this is your chance. Hey guys, this is Civic Dude, and welcome to this update video. We're going to go over some new things from the release notes about Path of Exile 2, the announcement trailer that we saw last week, and some of my highlights and things that I'm really looking forward to about this upcoming release. The first major thing that I want to talk about is the new class called the Huntress. She is a blend of ranged and melee combat. They really showcased the new item type called spears, and it looks to be a very fluid playstyle that they're aiming for, very similar to the monk and how you weave in and out of combat, dodging and weaving and chaining attacks together. It looks like it's going to be just a ton of fun to play. Super excited about trying that out. In addition, of course, she comes with her own 2 Ascendancies, and in addition to that, there are 3 more Ascendancies getting added to existing classes. So my personal favorite of those are going to be the Smith of Kitava and the Lich. Both of those look super fun. I'm really curious to see what we can do with the Smith of Kitava. That one looks to be a very versatile class with lots of different options. I personally am looking to try that out on some existing builds that I had run the first time around, and we'll see what that can add to those existing builds and even open up some new ones that we haven't even thought about yet. Additionally, Path of Exile 2 is giving us new gems. Their gem system is a bit different from PoE 1, and in this one we're getting 25 new active skills, as well as over 100 new support gems, which honestly the unsung hero I think of this whole patch is going to be the 100 new support gems, because from playing the game as much as we have already, and I've put hundreds of hours into the game already, the support gems are really what make the skills different from one another and the playstyles different. And so being able to have 100 additional ones to work with is going to be huge. Not to be outdone though, the 100 new uniques that they are adding are also going to be amazing. They actually talked about in the release trailer how, or I think maybe in the Q&A after the trailer, how they had previously focused on mostly early game uniques in the first round, but this time around they focused more on mid and end game uniques, and some of the ones they've revealed so far look to be just absolutely bangers. And so those look to be really game changers, and I'm really excited to see how those shake out and what kind of new builds we can play with those new uniques. This next topic here is a huge one, really big and broad, and it's just all about stuff to do. New mechanics, end-game Atlas changes. They introduced these concepts called Azmerian Wisps, which if you've played Path of Exile 1, reminds me very much of Tormented Spirits, how you have ghosts that inhabit a rare monster, make them more powerful, give them better drops. That looks super fun. They're also bringing back Rogue Exiles, which in true Grinding Gear Games fashion, they're making them better, and the best way that I think they're making them better is actually dropping the unique items that they are wearing when you fight them, when you encounter them. That's going to be super fun. They're bringing back, or introducing, I should say, they're introducing unique Strongboxes to the game. Gonna have some really great loot explosions and just some really cool encounters there. In addition to that, there's some in-game maps that they introduced where you have new boss encounters that just add more and more difficulty to the map, but also better and better loot the more that you progress through those encounters. The last major update of new mechanics that they added, which I think is going to be huge for the end game, is this concept of cleansed and corrupted areas, where you have to go and cleanse a certain area of the Atlas, and if you do so, the mobs that you kill in there have a chance to drop one of the new crafting items called fracturing orbs. That leads into the next section here of new crafting systems. We're getting fracturing orbs, which if you've seen Path of Exile 1 are a powerhouse when it comes to the crafting capabilities in that game, and I expect nothing less in this game as well. In addition to that, they're bringing back Recombinators, which are really going to be a great way to provide more agency to the players to help them get the gear they're really looking to actually create themselves and not just find on the ground. Supporting that, they're making omens way more common. From what they said in the Q&A, there should be on average 1 omen in each ritual encounter. So each ritual that you encounter on a map, there should be an omen. Essences, they're buffing those, introducing unique essences that interact in way more interesting ways than the unique essences from Path of Exile 1. It just gives a lot more agency and options to the players to help them craft. I mentioned maps earlier. They're adding more unique maps to the game, and not to miss out on this point at all, a couple of the new item types they're adding remind me very much of Simplex amulets and helical rings from Path of Exile 1, where they either remove or add prefixes or suffixes at the cost of the other. And so that's going to be super cool to be able to craft onto those base types in the end game. Last but not least here, for the things that they're adding in this section, are definitely going to be towers. They've reduced the number of them, but made them more powerful. You can add just base content to the towers, so things like breach or bosses, but you can also now apply multiple tablets to the towers instead of just one tablet. So this is definitely going to make towers less tedious to run and more rewarding when you do run them. So why does this matter? Dawn of the Hunt isn't just another expansion. It's a massive step forward for PoE 2. With new content, reworked mechanics, deeper crafting, this, I think, is the best look at what the full game, or the vision of what their idea for the full game will be like when it launches. And I am super excited to play this. I hope you guys are excited with me. April 4th is the date of launch. Dawn of the Hunt, it's almost here. 1 week to go. I hope you're going to be diving in. Let me know in the comments which feature or release note or maybe unique item you're most excited for. Have you picked out an Ascendancy class that you just cannot wait to play with? And if you're looking for more videos and guides and just fun things to do in the game, let me know. Tell me in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I will hopefully see you guys in Rayclast.